Hey guys, Dwight Main here. Big news in the DVD community for the January dev notes going forward, as Dead by Daylight's Twitter released a tweet, a dev update, and a quirky message. So Happy New Year's, just letting you know from me and my community, Happy 2022. Additionally, I don't want to waste too much time, so I'm going to make this short and sweet with less opinions than my last video if you saw that. But before we get into it, if you like these types of update videos, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. But let's get into it. First off, this is explained to be a smaller update. They said this will actually appear in the mid-chapter update along with a lot of other things, but they said for New Year's they would like to make more transparent of what they do going forward. So right off the bat, they get into how the game gets updated every time. We all know the eternity that we spend on verifying files after downloading, and so do they, as they're looking to change that. They go into explaining how it's split into partitions, or chunks as they say, which was supposed to help speed it up, so that way the entire game doesn't need to be re-downloaded every time. They said that they're changing that and compressing files so it'll be 50% faster and will reduce disk size of the game by about 18 gigabytes, which is an insane change. And it's good to see they're finally optimizing the game as well as including things like this for the PTB. They then go into talking about skill-based matchmaking that's been implemented and what they plan to change about it going forward as the community has changed partially. They talk about the influx of new players affecting matchmaking in a strange way, as people don't seem to know what they're doing. And they're changing matchmaking so that new players are more consistently matched with each other, which is huge. Beyond that, though, they further explain that the backfill system, when someone leaves, quick fills just grabs someone out of the skill range, and now we'll try to favor a quality teammate over a fast one, or at least a balance of the two. Disconnecting has also changed a bit, as it will not affect matchmaking as hard as it does now, and the last thing they touch on is extended break periods have been introduced to make it so people that, have taken extended breaks, they don't come back to sweat and instead are treated with a slightly lower MMR of games. The last thing on the subject that they mentioned is that they will be grouping people in matches closer to where they are in relation to the server. An example of this being that if you're in North America, you'll be getting matched with less people from other matchmaking servers, or at least further away in your own matchmaking server. This hopefully won't affect queue times that much, but we will see. Next, they go into Solo Survivor, and they're saying how that's going to be changed, as pre-made lobbies compared to Solo Survivor escape rates differ by about 15%, according to what they say. They say that they're going to try to aim to make Solo Survivor stronger, but not something like free aura reading, just to feel like they're a part of the team. They mention something like icons next to the HUD that explain what each survivor is doing. They also mentioned that none of this is final or confirmed, so hopefully this clears up in the next part of the dev changes that come out in a couple days, and know that I'm going to also make a video on that and explaining that, so stay tuned. Going into beta tabs, they explain that betas are going to be new and unlike player test builds. We're going to be rewarded blood points for completing our first couple of matches. In addition, this will give access to consoles. The first thing that they mention along these lines is the wiggle update, where they're going to be introducing even more skill checks, so that the game is more skill check dependent. Skill checks are going to happen when wiggling in the first beta, not having to mash things or rebind buttons in order to accomplish wiggling. And then the last thing that they mention is that they're going to introduce toggle interactions, so that way you no longer have to hold buttons and you can just toggle. Things like sprinting, doing gens, etc. Canceling interactions while sprinting, and more. They said that the 5th is when they're going to release more information on this. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this made things a little easier to digest. Don't forget to sub so that you don't miss that video when it comes out. I'm going to try to get that done earlier as well. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Awesome, gamers.